Special thanks for Nintendo for providing the review code for Pokken Tournament DX to review this game. Hey guys, what's up? It's 8-Bit Eric. Today we are going to take a look at a game that I missed out when it initially came out last year on the Wii U, Pokken Tournament. But on the Switch, it is Pokken Tournament DX. And we're not talking D Generation X WWE style. We're talking deluxe. Another port from the Wii U. We had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, now we got Pokken Tournament DX. Is it worth shelling out the $60 for a Wii U port on the Nintendo Switch? Well, that's what me, 8-Bit Eric, is here for today. So without any further ado, I'm going to take a look at this game, talk to you guys about my first experience with Pokken Tournament, how I think it holds up, and if it's worth it. So yeah, why am I still here talking? You guys want to see a review, don't ya? Let's begin! So Pokken Tournament DX, as I mentioned, is my first foray into the whole Pokken Tournament series, I guess. Is it a series? This is a Wii U port. There is a couple things added on for the Nintendo Switch version, and this is my first experience. So I am going into this review as a first timer. I'm not a big Pokemon guy. I know the basics, but if you don't know what Pokken Tournament is, it's a spin-off fighting game that I guess a lot of people say combines Tekken and Pokemon together, but in my opinion, this is nothing like Tekken. If you were to say Tekken heavily inspired Pokken, I honestly would believe you're wrong. In my opinion, Pokken Tournament is not like anything I've really played. You have a select group of characters from the Pokemon franchise in the last 20 years, new and old. There's a lot of them that I've never seen in my life, but it's got my favorite. You know, it's got Pikachu Libre, which I was totally stoked to see because I'm a big wrestling guy. But there's all sorts of different characters here. They're all separated into different categories. You got like speed, standard, you got power ones. There's like 4 different categories depending on how that Pokemon is how it will, I guess, play in the battlefield. So you got to choose a little bit wisely. Now, the one thing that I think separates Pokken Tournament from a lot of other games is the, I guess, dual phases that are in this. There's a field phase, which is a full 3D arena type of battle in the, I guess, in the matchup. So when you're far, you're able to use full 3D movement. You're able to use ranged attacks like fireballs and jump attacks and things. And then there's a dual phase, which is a close 2D plane type of fighting style. A little bit more traditional. And they're both phased in and out throughout a match, and this is actually pretty unique because 1 minute you could be in field phase and then dual phase instantly, so it causes you to change your strategy and exactly how you're going to attack at that moment, because when you're close up, your range attacks aren't really going to be strong, and when you're far away, your close-up attacks aren't going to be strong. So depending on what kind of mechanics are currently present in the match, it adds a little bit of strategy techniques that you need to learn. So that was new to me. I've never seen that in a game. Color me impressed if I'm wrong, because I'm not a big fighting guy usually either. I'm like a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat guy, and that's it. So this was pretty brand new to me. I think this really separated Pokken from other games, especially ones that are on the Switch, because as far as fighting games go, we have ARMS, and we have Pokken Tournament, and we also have you know, the upcoming Smash Brothers. And that's about it, I think. Not to mention all the Neo Geo titles, but Pokken Tournament is a Pokemon one, which a lot of people love Pokemon, and I thought that this was a pretty cool idea for a spin-off for that type of series. From my experience, being a newbie to Pokken Tournament DX, this is an easy to pick up and play game. There's no need to memorize a lot of button combinations for superpowers and fatalities and all that. Most of the combinations of this are easy, quick, tap the same button 3 times, tap 2 buttons at once, and you're able to get right in there and out. So I believe Pokken Tournament is a game that is catered to people of all experiences. Now, this might be frowned down upon fighting competitive enthusiasts, you know, competitive pro gamers. They might not look at Pokken Tournament as a real fighting game, but in my opinion, Pokken Tournament is perfect for the Nintendo Switch of all because of the portability, the ease of being able to take it anywhere, playing quick bursts, and not to mention the control scheme is able to be used with a single Joy-Con. So you can take this anywhere and play local co-op with a friend, hand them a Joy-Con, and voila, you're able to just jump in and out of play like that. And to me, that is really important as far as having to use the features and details of the Nintendo Switch. Pokken Tournament, in my opinion, is a good-to-go game on that front. But if you already played it for the Wii U, you might not be impressed with that. The portability might not be enough, but for me, that's what makes this the definitive version of Pokken Tournament. Now, I have not played Pokken Tournament before, so this is pretty good to me. I think the immediate availability of the whole entire roster right from the beginning when you turn this game in is awesome. You don't have to really unlock anything, and it saves time. So all of the rosters included. There's 5 new characters, some from the arcade, and then there's a brand new one, which forgiving me for butchering Pokemon names, I'm not too great at them, to be quite honest, is Desudai. Desudai? Is that how you pronounce it? The other 5 Pokemon, of course, were Krogunk, Empoleon, Darkrai, and Scizor, which I believe those were from the arcade one. I'm not good at Pokemon names. So that leaves with 21 different Pokemon for you to pick up as your, I guess, partner Pokemon. Now, as I mentioned, the pick up and play aspect of this is good. If you push any kind of combination of simple button presses, you will do some combos, but you also have grapple moves, which I guess is probably similar to Tekken. If you push X and Y together, your character will do a close quarter combat grapple. You also have a synergy bar, which is kind of like a power meter that fills up in the middle of your battle. Once it's filled up, you're able to unleash a pretty hardcore attack. I love Pikachu Libre's attack because he just throws him around and then gets on the top rope of a wrestling ring and frog splashes him Rob Van Dam style. And it's fucking adorable. Some of the other characters have some pretty badass moves as well. You're also able to do a lot of counter attacks. So there's some strategy to this, as I mentioned, with the phase shifts and everything. You just got to make sure that you're on top of whether you're in duel mode with close quarter combat or not. You're even able to select some support Pokemon. You get like a team of 2, and there's a variety of different teams that you can pick. Your support meter will fill up, and these Pokemon are used for, you know, additional attacks or to heal you or other kind of power-ups to help you in battle. You're usually able to use them about once, but in between rounds, you can switch off to the other one, and your advisor that actually kind of helps you out in this game will provide you some cheer support in between rounds and give you some kind of like special advantage or power or any kind of like little leverage for this, and I think that's pretty neat as well. Now, going into this game empty-handed seemed like a little bit of a button pusher, but I took my time to take care of the tutorial, which is actually pretty in-depth. It will show you all the ins and outs of this game. There's surprisingly a lot of strategy to being able to perform this game because, you know, going in and button pressing could only lead to so many victories at once, especially in the league mode. If you go to the league mode, which is essentially the story mode of the game, you could probably breeze through rank D and C, but once you get to higher ranks, it gets a little bit more challenging, especially with some of the Pokemon that just counter quickly on you. And then, of course, playing locally, you want to be able to opponent your friends good, but the one main thing that I think Pokken Tournament DX is able to feature is the online play, which you're not going to be able to button mash your way with that. There's going to be some Asian kid that has been playing this game his entire life. Every day, he's pro, he's going to own you. So be sure to follow up through the tutorial, find out the ways to play the game and everything. I thought this was a nice added touch. Now, I mentioned a couple other features. There is wireless local play, or you can play on the same Switch. Wireless local play is not too bad. I think it's a new concept that was not on the Wii U version, I'm pretty sure, because that wasn't wireless. So that's a neat feature they added. You're also able to do a single battle mode, which in single battle and even in co-op, there's 3 different battle modes. There's a regular battle mode, which is your standard Pokken Tournament match, best out of 3 rounds. There's an extra mode where there's extras that are thrown onto the battlefield, like little power-ups and stuff. Kind of little I guess, lenient as far as helping noobs out, because these power-ups can help you with your energy meter and stuff. And then there's a new 3 versus 3 mode, which has been compared to King of Fighters. I've seen other people talking about it as King of Fighters, but this is essentially a best out of 5 rounds. You pick a team of 3 Pokemon, you go against other 3 Pokemon. You're able to trade out to a new Pokemon if your Pokemon gets defeated, and the opponents can do that as well. I thought that was a nice little added feature. I think it felt a little needed for a game to give it a little bit more meatier options. A lot of fighting games nowadays have a lot of different modes, and this was nice to have that thrown out there and throw things up a little bit for a little 3-on-3 action. When you complete battles successfully, you do get some coins. The coins are allowed to provide some upgrades, such as customizing your avatar. Yes, you do have an avatar. You're able to get clothes, accessories, change their hair, stuff like that. You're also able to unlock little titles for your character for when you do like matches and stuff. Little names, little quotes, little catchphrases. So there is a little bit of stuff, incentive to buy. You also earn skill points that go towards your character. There's 4 different things on each character skill tree. There's attacks, defense, synergy, and strategy. So be wise in how you use these skill points. But this game provides a lot of opportunities for skill points, because there's even a new daily challenges mode that's been added onto the Switch, which includes challenges such as winning so many matches as a certain character, and you win more gold and more challenges like that. So that's neat. I would have liked to seen a little bit more robust of a challenge system on this, but adding a small thing like daily challenges was a nice little nod for Nintendo to add onto this. Now, going back to the story mode, I'm not going to give too much in details of what it's going on, because I want to leave, a lot of it mysterious. Let's just say you're a trainer trying to work your way up to a league, and a mysterious black Pokemon and a mysterious trainer show up, and you kind of figure out it's not really a narrative-based game, but that is basically the gist of the league story. The league is, of course, the single-player campaign. Other than that, it's just a battle free-for-all with all the other modes. Now, graphical-wise, this game is beautiful. Pokemon's always been a creative and colorful franchise for Nintendo, and I think Bandai Namco did a wonderful job presenting the Pokemon universe in a fighting game. While it's not as robust as other games, and maybe not even as advanced as Pokemon games, otherwise there's not too many Pokemon in here, what is in here does capture the essence of the franchise. The sound and soundtrack is just as good as well, and it runs at a 720p 60 frames per second state, which was not on the Wii U for obvious technical reasons. So it does run a little bit better. The only time I saw frame rate drops was in local couch co-op on the little tablet, but that's to expected. It's a tablet running virtually 2 different renders of the same game. It's going to struggle a little bit, but not bad. I think it runs perfectly, and it's definitely a nice little upgrade from the previous version. So my final thoughts on Pokken Tournament DX, is it worth it? Well, coming from a first-time player that didn't experience it on the Wii U because it was coming at the end of the Wii U's life cycle, for $60, I find it pretty well worth it. If you have it on the Wii U and you've played it before, you're not too big of a Pokemon fan, you might want to not get it unless you're wanting to get more games for your Switch. But one big main thing that I would tell anybody to get this game for is that with the popularity of the Nintendo Switch now and games selling really good, this will sell really good, which means you have an actual online base of people to play with when it launches. Now, as of this review, the online mode was kind of sparse, but that's because only reviewers had access to it. But the games that I did play, no problems at all. Being able to play Pokken Tournament DX with a huge amount of people that might be experiencing the game for the first time as well excites me. So if you're a hardcore Pokemon fan, or you haven't played it before, or you liked Pokken Tournament and you want to play with an even bigger base of online people, then by all means get the game. If you're not really into Pokemon, then you might not like this game. But overall, I think this game is totally worth it. It's great. It's good. And I'm not even a Pokemon fan. And well, guys, that's it for today's video. Thanks a lot, as always. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, comment, and like below. I really appreciate it. And thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you next time. Pikachu!